Good morning, everyone. My name is Louise Golding from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. Welcome to Groovi Tuesday. Hope everybody's well. I'm going to do a little bit of rambling until everybody joins us in the room, all our friends. So it's quite a chilly day today, quite autumnal. I was walking to work and you can see loads of golden leaves on the ground. It's really pretty. But yeah, it's just a really, really chilly day today. I got my poppy shirt on because, as everybody knows, it's Remembrance Day today. So I got my poppy shirt on. I was looking in the mirror earlier and I was like, oh, it's Spot the Poppy. Where's the actual poppy? Where is it? It's over here. So yes, if anybody has read Barbara's blog, you'll know that we thought it was a good idea that at the end of this hour, when it turns 11 o'clock, we all do a 2-minute silence. So I thought when it gets close to 11, I'll stop what I'm doing and we'll have a 2-minute silence in recognition of all of the brave men that died during the First World War. It was an awful situation to be in, and I don't know how they managed in those days. I really don't. And we have a lot to be grateful for, to all of the people that sacrificed their lives for us. It is really, it's a day of reflection and gratitude. It really is. And to know that we live in a world that was made better by their sacrifice is really, really important, I think. So yeah, I thought we'd do that at 11. So I'll kind of slow down as it gets nearer to 11. Sound is good. Thank you very much, Jane. Oh, Jane's wearing her poppy leggings. Hey, so I've got a poppy shirt and Jane's got poppy leggings. Together we complete a full ensemble. But yeah, good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's well. It's a busy week here at Clarity. We've got our open days from Friday and Saturday, and then our workshops on Sunday. So we're all preparing for that, as well as our cogs are turning downstairs, still picking and packing all of the orders. It was a very, very popular sale, so please bear with us. Everybody's working, overtime to make sure that all of the orders go out and get out as soon as possible. Not long till Friday now. I'm really excited. Going to see all of the design team members, and of course everybody coming to the open days. It's going to be a fantastic day. It will start to feel like Christmas after that, I think. After our little Christmas open days and Christmas workshop, it's going to be nice and Christmassy, I'm telling you. So Jane is in the room with you. So if you have any questions, then please ask Jane. And if there's anything that Jane needs to filter through to me via text, she will. Thank you. And Jane's going to just give me a little a nudge when it gets near to 11, just in case I get a little bit carried away. So morning, everybody. Come in. Hope everybody's got a nice cup of tea or coffee, whatever you prefer. So we're going to finish up the project today that we've been working on, this project here. So I'm just going to do some reperforating and picot cutting. So there's going to be a lot of snipping. So we'll finish that off today. This afternoon at 2 p.m, we are looking over Tina's new Christmas all-in-one plates. So we're going to be looking at those next at 2 p.m. And I thought one of the demos that Jane did, I'm just going to show you a little few hints and tips and everything, because I think Paul showed one of them on the show on Hobby Maker the other day. So I'm going to show you one. And then I thought I've got one here that I thought, another one that Jane's made. And I thought I would do that for a couple of weeks, just to tide us over all of the busy period. We've been really busy here. So I thought I'd show you before we get into the project today. This is going to be the next project that we're going to do. And this is lovely Jane's one. I thought this would be a good idea and it's got lovely lovely bit of glitter. So I thought we've done quite a few, you know, complicated projects with tool work and everything. So I thought we'd just, for a couple of weeks, we'll take it a little bit easier, do a nice little bit of colouring. I might put a tiny little bit of grid work around the outside maybe. Just a little bit of using the pergoliners, pergo colours, bit of white work. So I thought that would tide us over for a couple of weeks until we get into December, and then we can do another project. But I love this so much when I first saw it, because it's, you know, it's pure Christmas and it's lovely and glittery, and so I fell in love with this one. So I thought we'd do this for a couple of weeks, and lovely Jane's given me permission to use her lovely card for a Groovy Tuesday project. So this will tide us over for a couple of weeks. We've got some lots of nice little, and yeah, and Jane said that we've got some metallic pen in there as well. So we all know I love a little bit of metallic pens. So yeah, pink and green. I think it looks so pretty, really does. So that's what we're going to do next week. So I'm just thinking, so we're going to need these plates. I just thought I'd bring these in. We're going to be using these plates. So I was just picking out little bits that I can see that Jane's used. So Jane's used this one and this one from the Dove and Peace plate, which is 42576. And then I think, oh yes, this one here from this plate. I'm just having a look and see. Then the bauble here, I'll have to hunt, but it's definitely this bauble here for the top corner. Oh, and then what else have we got? Obviously the Christmas tree as well, but it's in, it looks like it's in this layout. So this is the layout that we're going to use, and then Jane is infilled with bits and pieces from all of the plates. So it's going to be a really nice mix and match. And of course, you know, I'm going to use this layout to complete this card along with other bits and pieces from different plates. But if you want to just use this layout and do some of the tips and tricks that we're going to go through in the next couple of weeks, then you can. So you don't have to buy all of them, but I mean, why wouldn't you? They're so gorgeous, like all of the, and they're all layouts in themselves. So I'll show you at 2 p.m. You've got the layout with all the infills, but then you can take, obviously with Groovi, we all know we can take the infills out and put all sorts of different things in. So if you wanted to put some grid work in some of these, you could. I might do that. We could do a little bit of different kind of infill and grid work in some of the this one here. Could use a Christmas tree and then put a little bit of grid work around the Christmas tree. So we could change it a little bit. We could put a little bit of grid work in here maybe instead of the mistletoe. So there's options, you know. I'm going to use this layout and then follow a little bit of what Jane's done, but then I might just add a few little bits of grid work in there, splash of grid work and stuff like that. So I thought that'd be fun. So we could all come along on the ride together. I'll do a little template and show you what I'm going to do in each side, but I always say it's always good to do a little template. If you do a template about that size of grid work, and then you can infill it and just use your one needle bowl to infill all of the area where you want to do it. So say you wanted to do it in here, inside this box, you could do a little bit of grid work, but you'd have your template. So it'd make it a lot easier when it comes to completing it on your piece of artwork. So yeah, so we'll follow along. I have got the stages, but they're not in the room here. I just took the card to show everybody where we will be heading. So that's where we're going to be doing. So the collection, if you haven't got them, the collection is 21248, and these are the plates that I'm going to be using. But it is going to be the dove, the tree, So that's 42576, 42578, and then this is the layout we're going to be using, 42577. Those are the main three, but then you have this gorgeous candle one as well. So they're all gorgeous. But I thought I'd just show you what we're going to be doing the next couple of weeks. Let me come back to that again. So I thought that would be a little bit of fun, just a little bit of a calm couple of weeks. And then we can get into another project for December. So yeah, so that's what I was planning. So I think I better get into it. So let me show you, if you haven't joined us before for a Groovi Tuesday, we do a Groovi Tuesday project every week. And at the moment we are on this project. We're just finishing it up. So if you wanted to go back and see any of the previous hours, they're all on YouTube, Clarity Crafts YouTube. So this is our final week and we're just reperforating and picot cutting. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, so looking forward to the open days. They're going to be brilliant. So this is the project that we are on now. So we've done all of our embossing. So when you come back a week later, it doesn't look as bad as it did last week. And then I'm going to perforate the bits that I haven't perforated yet. And then I'm going to reperforate and then cut this bit out. Then I'm going to show you how I put it in here as well. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll do this little bit first, and then we can cut it out, and I'll show you how I put it in here, and then obviously I can reperforate and picot cut after that. So I'm going to bring in my picot foam, and I'm going to bring in my 2 needle bolt first, and I'm just going to, if I bring you all in, let's come up nice and close. There we go. So we're just going to cut this little bit out. I don't know, maybe the third camera you can see me perforating a little bit better there. So I've already perforated here, so I can come in with my 1 needle bolt and reperforate that in a little while. But I'm just literally just going to come around this scallop, just making sure that I'm just trying to get used to where we're going. Okay, so with my 2 needle bolt, I'm just hooking into the previous hole. And I would normally turn my work, but I'm wary that if I turn my work, I've got to find where the camera is again. So we're just going around the scallop. So yeah, it's been an eventful week. We've got our brilliant workshops on Sunday as well. So all the lovely design team coming down for the open days. It's going to be a brilliant couple of days. I'm really looking forward to it. So how many of our lovely friends are coming to the open days? And are you coming on a Friday or a Saturday, or both? And are you coming to the workshops? That'd be good to know. So with my 2 needle bolt, I am perforating quite deep because then I don't have to come in and reperforate. So just finishing up around the scallops. There we go. And then just around, I made a little rectangle. I'll show you on the above camera now, I think. I'm just going round. I made this little tab and I'm just perforating around it now. Just like so. There we go. So I've perforated all the way around, and also the tab as well. Yeah, I think maybe the third camera is a little bit dark. I'm not sure why. So I'll keep on the above camera anyway, because this one's better. So let me just re-perforate again into the bits I perforated last week. There we go. And then we can cut this bit out. The end of the month, I'm going to see a theatre production in London for my birthday. We're going to go and see Wicked. So I'm looking really forward to that. And the film's out at the end of the month as well. But I've never seen a theatre production. And I really got into the film last year. So, oh, sorry, I can't see. So that'd be good. Looking forward to that. Oh, 1 second. There we go, that's better. Oh, there we go. So I've just finished, nearly finished that part. Now I think what we'll do is we'll picot cut this bit out. There we go. I'll just re-perforate some of the holes here. Oh, Carol's coming to the open day. That's lovely. We do have lunch and bits and pieces, crisps and all sorts of nice things available there. As we know that everybody will be spending a whole day there. So we do have snacks and refreshments available. So yeah, it's just a really fun day, and it's, you know, last November they had carol singing, so it's just going to be fun, I think. Just a bit of fun, and I think we all need a bit of fun, especially at the moment with everything going on. Obviously my picots will be smaller in this one because I've used a bold needle in the semicircle, which has got fine needles. So all the picots will be a little bit smaller around this section here. And there's not just sandwiches as well, there's also salads are available as well. So, you know, if you're gluten-free or anything, we have salads and bits and pieces. There you go, so just working my way around. There we go. And I'm thinking as well, when we go up, it's going to be the end of November when we go up. Just got to include another 2 needle here. There we go. Yeah, I think when we go up, we're going to go to a Christmas fair as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. That will get me into the mood of Christmas, I think. We've only got 44 days till Christmas now. So that's good. I thought that the nice thing as well today is on my little app, it tells me what National Day it is today, and obviously it's Remembrance Day. But also, I mean, I'm not going to mention the other things because they're just silly. But the important one is it's National Forget-Me-Not Day. So it's a day to honour and remember loved ones, which I thought was really, really lovely. It's the forget-me-not is the little symbol that they use as well for people with dementia. Always used to wear one on my care uniform as well. So I used to work in care homes and community care as well. So yeah, so it's a rewarding job. You get to see lots of lovely characters, and I actually, one of the ladies I used to look after, she ran away from home to join the she wanted to be a driver in the Second World War. She ran away from home and enlisted into working in the over in France. She was a driver, so if they needed to get anywhere, she'd be taking them. And she had so many stories. It was amazing to. I could listen to her for hours. She had so many things to tell, and amazing really was just to listen to all of her stories. Right, so I've cut this out. So this is cut out. So I've got my little tab at the top, which in a minute I will fold over. So what I'm going to do is, obviously at the moment I'm not going to put it in because I've still got to reperforate and picot cut and there's too much moving. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use my 2 needle. I'm going to figure out where I want it. Do I want it? Probably want it here. So I'm just going to use this ribbon here and along okay, so I've just perforated along this top of this ribbon. So someone's asked about I'm guessing you mean perforating picot cutting, which this is. It would be you'd need a 1 and a 2 needle bold and some picot foam. Yes, the Groovi workshop, that's this weekend. It's in Ditton, Ditton Maidstone, and there's a few spaces left if anybody wants to come. Barbara's is fully sold out, but there's only a few spaces left for Linda's. So I've actually got the ticket here for Linda's. Let's have a look. So we've got a few spaces left for, here we are, Linda's workshop. So it's in Ditton Community Centre. So have a look online. The number is 60217 and that's on the Clarity Crafts website. And it's just a really, really lovely day. And there's going to be an amazing project that Linda's doing this Sunday. So I'm really excited to see what she's going to do with it. Something completely new that we haven't sold at Clarity before, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm just going to reperforate all of the outside now. So if I start down here, there we go. So I'm just gonna, oh, that's a 2 needle. Where's my 1 needle? I've done that before. I need to get my eyes checked again, I think. There we go, there's 1 needle. Okay, so just using my Pico foam, that gives me the, for me, I think it gives me the correct distance to go through for my picos. I don't think you'd need to go any further down. And the good thing is they'll all be the same size, because you're kind of like touching the black mat each time. So I'm just reperforating all of every single hole. The ones that I'm not cutting, let me try this one again. I've fixed the issue, so it should, is that better at the side now? If it's not, let me know and I can change it again. But I'm not hitting the blackboard when I reperforate the inside, because you don't need to. There we go. So just working my way down. This is a 1 needle bold, yes. Even though it's I'm working with fine needle tools, I always use a bold. The main reason is I find it easier to get your poker cutters or your scissors into the bold holes, and also I can't see the fine holes to pico in them unless I have my magnifier. So I mean, I have quite bad eyesight, and at home I always use my magnifier. The magnifier would just get in the way when I'm showing you on the screen, so I don't use my magnifier here. But at home, I always have my magnifier, definitely when I'm doing my projects, on my grid work, or my tool work. So the best way to attach, there's several ways that you can use. So you can either use brads for attaching your parchment to your card, or we have punches available. So they're like a little corner punch, and then you would slide your 4 corners of your parchment in there. Also, you can cut a little bit of card, slightly tiny bit smaller than the parchment, and then you can fold the parchment around the card, and then you can stick it down. So there's several ways. You can also, if you have white work on your projects, you can use a little bit of pergo glue behind the white work, something like that. Or you could put a piece of artwork, or a little sticker, like one of our word stickers, and then you can obviously hide the sticky tape underneath that. What's another way? I'm trying to get my brain to work now. There's quite a few different ways that you can use. I used a different way a couple of weeks ago with something. I can't remember what I think what I did was I folded a little bit of the parchment around a smaller bit of card, and then I stuck that onto the project, and then I could stick the bigger project down behind the little bit of parchment wrapped around the card that I put on the smaller little bit. So that's always, there's quite a few different ways. There is a, I don't know whether Jane knows where it is. My brain's gone. There's a, it might be under the punches maybe. There's a video that Paul Church did where he shows you all the different ways that you can attach parchment to your card. There's a YouTube video on it, but it's also, I think it is under the Clarity Punches. If Jane might be able to find that video, maybe. I can't remember where it would be. I think it is under the punches. So there's 5 punches, and they're corner punches. So there's punch 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Jane's looking now. Thank you so much, Jane. I know because Paul mentioned it a couple of weeks ago to me, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's a good video for a lot of people to watch, because there's a few different ways, and it's always good to have different ways to attach." Oh, you can also, Linda Williams tries this as well. So you can get a little bit of, I haven't got one here. What Linda uses is like, she uses her Pico squares or normal squares, and she cuts out a border strip of paper or card, and then you can stick the parchment down behind the card that she places on it. So it's like a border bit of card that she's used a larger Pico square on and a smaller Pico square on, and it kind of just like a little bit of card. I haven't got one here, but say you have your, let me just use a bit of, so you have the strip of, obviously this is, I'm not going to win any prizes for drawing, but it's literally just a border of card, like so. Your piece of artwork is in here. Linda cuts out Pico square there, and then obviously cuts out the outside as normal. And then she puts this on top of the project. And then obviously then you could, if you have your parchment a little bit bigger than this piece of artwork, you can then stick your parchment down here. And so it's then you can stick all of this down onto the card behind. So that's always a really good trick as well. And it looks really elegant as well. So that's obviously another good way to do. Yes, I thought it was. It's on the punches page. So if you follow the link that Jane's put up there, and it takes you to the punches page, and also to the video that shows you how you can attach parchment onto your card. Very, very handy video to watch, because that's sometimes we can struggle with. So yeah. So that's one side reperforated. So what I might do is, because we're probably going to run out of time eventually, so I might just I'll Pico cut around here to show you how I'm going to Pico cut around it, and then we'll attach this onto here. I think that will be okay. I can always, if I still have some time, I can carry on. So we have this corner. So this was just the one butterfly tool. So say I'm just going to go around here. So I've cut this one here, and then I'm just cutting around the corner like so. And I'm on my Pico foam. So I've gone down into the dip here, and I'm just picot cutting around the scallop. Okay, and it's coming right down into this little dip here. Did we do a 4? Oh no, we didn't do a 4. All right, going back. I thought we did a super zoom, but we didn't. So now you've gone into this dip here, you can come back out. So what I'm going to do, instead of me turning my work all the same time, I'm just going to do this side of the scallop. Then I can turn it around and do the other side of the scallop. I do this in my artwork quite a few times, so I don't have to keep on turning my artwork. And also, you don't want me turning my artwork too much when you're on camera, because otherwise it might make you dizzy. There we go. There we go. So it's a really nice, once it's cut out, it looks really nice. There's so many different ways you can emboss. But yeah, I thought maybe next week we could, with the project, follow it along, maybe do a few little grid work patterns. However, if you don't want to do a grid work pattern, there's also some really lovely embossed pattern grids from Josie. I think there's straight and diagonal, and there's quite a few really, really lovely ones that you can use in your, to infill a space. They're very, very useful. There we go. So I'm just picot cutting around the scallop and going into the dip. I always find doing this the best way, really, because the more times you move your parchment, the more times you're touching it, and the more times that it's liable to tear by accident. Because I'm clumsy. Okay, so I'm just carry on picot cutting. They were good films. Old British humour. Carry on films. Even as a child, I used to love watching them. Oh, thank you, Jane. Jane's put the embossed patterns by Josie up on the website if anybody wanted to have a look, because they've got some really lovely patterns on there. Really pretty. Okay, so we're nearly done that side. I'm just going to reperforate around here so we can finish off this corner. There we go. Yeah, me too. Love a good carry-on film. I have too many favourites to I do like the old historical ones like Carry On Henry and Carry On Don't Lose Your Head. They're good ones. Okay, so let me just use these just to cut that side so we can see what it looks like cut out. There we go. Oh, forgot to do that side of that one. There we go. That should be cut out now. Aha! There you go. Ta-da! Oh yeah, it's better if you see it that way, I think. Or is it better if you see it that way? No, it's better that way because you can see all of it then. So that's the border cut out. So it looks a lot lovely, lot nicer cut out, doesn't it? But it looks really nice there. So if you didn't want to pico cut it out, you can have fun and just reperforate it so all of the holes are the same size. And then you can always just cut it with a guillotine or anything like that. So yeah, so that's always good. So yes, what I'll do now is I'm going to pico cut this way. Like so. Okay, so we've got our little gap. Like so. So I'm just going to fold my little tab here. Okay, so that goes in there. So then, if I bring this down here, I'm just going to poke a hole into it so I can get inside the gap. Hold on. Just opening up the gap a little bit so I can fit this in. It can be a little bit fiddly. There we go. It's in. So then I fold that over. And that's in there. Infamy, infamy, they've all got it in for me. That's funny. I like that line. I said that yesterday, actually. I don't know why. I was saying it to my mum. There we go. So that's folded in. And then all you have to do on the other side is you can either use your red line tape here, or you can use some perga glue to stick it down. And then obviously you just hold it down until it's stuck. And then you have this little twiddly bit here. So that gives you a nice little bit there. So, I mean, we've still got some time now, so I'm going to do a second border, I think. So we have two borders that are completely cut out, and I think that would be nice. They're just carrying it on all the way down. Let's just do that. It's easier to move the black mat than the project. So just reperforating again. I like having little bits and pieces on my card like that. It kind of like it's tactile. I'm like a little kid. Oh yes, thank you, Jane. So yes, don't forget Paul's on Hobby Maker at 1 PM and 5 PM today. So that would be good. So we've got quite a lot of clarity shows today. We've got Paul 1 and 5 on Hobby Maker, and then we've obviously got our lovely Groovi Tuesday, which is always nice to spend with all our friends. And then we have a 2 PM show on Clarity TV later, where we're going to show Tina's all-in-ones. So we can have a good old look at all of the lovely all of the lovely design team projects so we could have a proper look. Yeah, we can all have a look at the lovely design team projects and then have a little go at one of Jane's demos that she kindly made. And then, so there was 2 projects demos that Jane prepared, and it's you know, it does take time as well to create demos, because you have to, not only have you got to do the cards, you've also got to create all the stages. So the same amount of time as doing the card is that, you know, so you got 3/4 of the time doing the second to last stage, and then half the time doing the half stage, and yeah, it builds up. But it's so lovely to see all the lovely demos that everybody does. So yeah, so that's why I thought, oh well, I'll do one for a Groovi Tuesday project. That'd be fun. And the good thing is I've got all the stages, so I know exactly what Jane did. Oh, let me go up a bit. Yes, that was an absolutely unforgettable scene. Barbara Windsor doing the keep fit and carry on camping. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Now really put your chests into it. That's so funny. You can tell I've watched them a bit too many times. Okay, so that's another side done. On the outside, I haven't done the inside actually. Let's do the inside. There we go. So just re-perforating all of the inside now. Really do think, and if then once you've re-perforated it all, it looks really, really lovely as a border that you can just cut around if you didn't want to do all of the picot cutting. So if you're at the stage where you're just doing the perforating and you're not into your picot cutting yet, then it's definitely a nice border to just cut out. However, if you do want to get into your picot cutting, we're on the second week, and tomorrow is the second module of our perforating and picot cutting course. So that's I've seen all of the lovely projects that everybody's been showing of the perforating and picot cutting course on Groovi Worldwide and the Circle as well. So it's really lovely to see everybody's creations once they've mastered it. But it's so lovely to see everybody's projects. It really is. Yeah, the angels are really lovely. I've been making up angel kit, so it's been lots of fun. There we go. So just going all the way down, nearly at the end. There we are. Let's go up a little bit. Yeah, so second module tomorrow. So, and what I've tried to do in the course is teach different ways in different modules. So last week everybody was learning how to picot cut across, how to perforate and picot cut across, and also a straight line. This week they'll learn something different, and module 3 that all of our friends will learn something different as well. So I've really tried to separate, so it's not all techniques in one module and everybody's, oh my god, what have we let ourselves in for? So we're teaching different ways of picot cutting in different weeks. So it really does keep everybody on their toes. Here we go. So I'm just going to picot cut around this second border now. So like before, I'm just going to do all of one side of the scallop first, then I'll come around and do the second scallop after. Okay, so and everybody loved the snipping sound. I go into, like, when I'm doing tool work or grid work and everything, when I'm picot cutting, I just go into like a little trance, listening to all the picots. You could get lost in all sorts of different types of crafting, but it's like a little sound video. I must say the most relaxing sound is when you can hear rain on a window. I find that such a lovely sound. While you're inside cozy with a cup of tea that's gone cold. But yes. So it's just working my way around. So for anybody that wasn't here at the beginning of the hour, we thought it would be a really lovely tribute to when it hits 11 o'clock. We'll have a 2-minute silence for Remembrance Day. So at 11 o'clock, if I sound very, very quiet, I'll obviously warn you. But if I sound very quiet, then that's the reason. But I read something so lovely this morning, because I was looking up on the National Day. It says all of these, the silly things of what it is, but also there's some serious things on the same day. So obviously, I won't mention the silly things today because I don't think that's necessary. But it is obviously Remembrance Day, but also National Forget-Me-Not Day, which I think is very fitting as well. So I read something really beautiful this morning. It says, so many innocent lives were lost. War takes so many lives away, but they were there to protect our country at any cost, and we remember them with every poppy bloom. To the men who showed great bravery and made the ultimate sacrifice for us and for our values, for that we remember them. I thought that was such a lovely thing to say. I saw that it was just under the page where the remembrance subject was. And I thought that was a really, really lovely thing. it's so important to remember what people in our past have done for us. I mean, my great-granddad and great-great-granddad both fought in the Second World War and the First World War, you know, and so it really, you know, and a lot of our grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-great-grandfathers would have fought in the war and would have had obviously so many different jobs. But for the people that came back from war as well, you know, so many of those poor men had shell shock, and you know, it wasn't just the war, it was the after effects of the war as well. Some men weren't even ever the same again after coming back, and it's a really sobering fact, and there's something that we all have to, something that I'm definitely grateful for. There we go. So I've done the second side there. So we come out a little bit so we can see what we've done. So I've done the two sides. So obviously you can, if you're following the project along with me, carry on, do the second sides, and then you can use some brads to attach. We've done our little fiddly bit here. So that's that little bit. Good little, nice little frilly thing. So there, that's it. And then obviously once that's done, I mean, it's like a mirror image there. That's on that side, that's on that side. But yeah, once you can put it onto any colour you like. Yeah, just have fun with it. It's quite a large card, but you know, if you wanted to do it smaller, you could just do a little couple of flowers and a tiny little ribbon and make it smaller. You don't have to make it so large if you wanted to. But yeah, so that's our project, and that's where we are at. And that's where we've been and where we've got to. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that project. It's been such a lovely project to do. I think we've been doing that for six weeks now. So yeah, that's quite a long time, but it's been a labour of love, that one. It's it's been good fun. And then obviously next week we'll start with this project here. Let me just show you quickly. We'll start with this project here. So nice little bit of colouring. There's some pearl glitter. I may do a little bit of grid work occasionally in some bits and pieces. So maybe have your diagonal and straight grid if you wanted to do some grid work. If not, just copy it the same way that lovely Jane's done here. So it's just a nice little couple of weeks we'll spend on that, just to tide us over until December. So yeah, so I thought in a couple of minutes we'll do our 2-minute silence. So yeah, it's not too long now. But yeah, so those are the projects. That's where we're at. And if you wanted to follow along, it's the Tina's Christmas all-in-one plates that I'll be using. There's 3 of them that Jane's used for that one. So she's used the Christmas tree. I'll just show you quickly. Christmas tree, dove, and the Christmas rose. Okay. So in a little while, I think it's going to be 11 o'clock. So yeah, so you're going to just look at me for a little while. But yeah, I think it's really, really important to do this, and I'm happy that we're doing it all together as well. So safe travels coming down to the open days, and obviously at 2 p.m. Paul and myself will Paul will be doing Hobby Maker. I'm doing the Tina's Christmas all-in-one, so we'll have a look at the design team projects and all of that jazz. So yes, so shortly, I haven't got a timer, so I'm just gonna, oh, there we go, 2-minute silence. There we are. That's our 2-minute silence. Lest we forget, we shall always remember them. So thank you so much for joining me on Groovi Tuesday. And I will be back at 2 p.m. and we'll have a good look at all of the lovely design teamwork. So until then, take care everyone, and I shall see you at 2 p.m. Have a lovely day. Oh, and thank you very much, Jane, for being in the room and helping out. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye.